Now, when it comes to the state of Karnataka, the task force was constituted to look into COVID-19, the ways in which the spread of virus needs to be tackled when it comes to the state of Karnataka, and the ways in which the lockdown must also be imposed, and the ways in which it should also be taken out. So in this regard, as to how the lockdown restrictions should be eased out in the state, the task force, which in a sense looks into every matter pertaining to COVID-19, has gone ahead and has submitted a report to Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa. Dr. Devi Shetty, in fact, heads the task force, and Dr. C.N. Majunath also happens to be a part of that. Dr. Nagaraj is also and Ravi and Sudharshan are also in this committee that have in fact formed this report. For more on this, I'm being joined in by my colleague Amruta from the newsroom. Now, Amruta, this task force report that we're talking about, how important is it at this point in time, at this very crucial juncture, and how instrumental will it be for Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa to really go ahead and take a decision and gauge as to what position that we are in and what have we done on the ground and whether the lockdown should be extended? So how important is this report for Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa ahead of the cabinet meeting that will take place tomorrow?
Adarsh, this particular report that has been submitted by the experts in this field and also part of this task force, officially and unofficially, who have been aiding the state government, is quite crucial, because this particular report will be now tomorrow discussed in the cabinet meeting in the state. And furthermore, it is possible that after modifications required, they might send this particular report to the center for them to take a decision on whether the lockdown should be extended in the state of Karnataka, or even for that matter in the whole country, or not. So in terms of what this report says, this particular report has particularly suggested that the lockdown should continue in some places wherein COVID-19 infection has been a hotspot in those places, say Bengaluru, Mysuru, Bidar, Mangaluru and Kalburgi. And the experts in this area feel that the lockdown should be extended at least until April 30th to contain the spread of this novel coronavirus. Now, these particular places I just mentioned are the places wherein more than 9 cases of COVID-19 have been reported so far, and they've also had some cluster cases of COVID-19 coming up. So these places are quite the hotspots, to say the least. And this is exactly what the report also suggests. Now, moreover, what the task force committee report also suggests is that the schools and colleges also be closed till May 31st, that the schools and colleges not open up anytime soon, but they open up after May 31st, so that the vulnerable age group, that is the children and the younger population, do not exactly contract the infection, nor do huge gathering of people happens in places like schools, classrooms and elsewhere. So that is one more idea that the report suggests. Now, other than that, the task force also recommends that all of the shops and establishments which work without an air conditioning can be opened up, and the staff in these shops and establishments to be only 50%, and that too on a rotational basis. So what this report recommends is that the shops and establishments without AC can open up, but with only half of the workforce, and that to the workforce working on a rotational basis, and not all of it opening up. Now, the other recommendations made is that the interstate rail and air services do not open up, because that would mean more movement of people from one place to the other. It is possible that people from a low risk area might go to a medium risk area due to interstate rail connectivity and air services. And to note the point over here, the railways have been a point of contention in the spread of COVID-19. However, it has not been officially yet admitted by the government, state or the center. but it has been one point of contact for people without any travel history testing positive here in the state of Karnataka, and other people who have tested positive for COVID-19 having traveled in train coaches and through other means. And other the task force committee recommendations are that the AC bus services and metro should be closed till April 30th, and that odd even scheme for private vehicles should be adopted in the state of Karnataka as well, and that permission should be given for a goods vehicle and the movement only. This is the particular list of recommendations that has been given by the task force committee. And to quote the Dr. C.N. Majunath, the director of Jayadeva Institute of Cardiovascular Sciences and Research, he has said that the lockdown should continue in the hotspots, and that absolutely no domestic or international flight should be allowed operating till at least April 30th, except for cargo services, and also that interstate and inter-district movement should also not be permitted. Even Nama Metro in Bengaluru should not resume operations till April 30th. What it here wants to achieve is that minimizing the movement of people in the local area so as not to cater to the spread of the COVID-19. Now, more industries like garment industries can start working from April 14th, with 50% of their staff being at the workforce, but that too on a rotational basis. Now, these are some of the recommendations made by the task force here in the state of Karnataka. It can be said it's a little bit similar to what the Kerala model also suggests, but that is up for the state government and the central government to actually implement this particular recommendations.